On this episode of Star Trek Universe, we are catching up on a little bit of news. We have old mysteries, Final Horizons, and a new film in development when we return.
Welcome to Star Trek Universe, the podcast where you can listen in on two lifelong friends sit and chat about Star Trek. My name's Matthew Carroll.
Yeah, I'm David C. Robinson.
What's up, man?
I don't know. Did you laugh because I said my name weird?
Yeah, you said your name. It sounded like you said Robinson.
I said Robinson.
Robinson, yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah. Yes, that is why I was laughing.
Yep.
So, what's up, man? How's life?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
Yeah. Somebody
I'm
asked me
barely
that.
here.
Somebody asked me that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I don't know. I haven't checked in with myself. And I just took a moment. And I was like, ooh, not great.
Yeah.
Both body, mind, and spirit not aligned at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, let me check my life box. Oh, fuck, that looks bad.
I got married since last time we did this podcast, I think, right?
Yeah, that's right. You did.
We saw each other in person.
Yeah, and that was weird.
Yeah, not that we live far away at all. You live like 10 minutes from me. We should see each other more often. But my wedding was an occasion to do so. That was fun.
Yeah, and your wedding was like 30 minutes away.
Yeah, that's true.
It was further away than it would just be to come go see you in the normal.
Yeah. But it was a whole different thing, big event.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a very small event, but
That too.
that was fun. It's a good time.
But did you read the card? Did you read my card?
I did. I remember it was funny. You wrote something completely unrelated to the thing.
Yeah, all I really remember is I said happy birthday and no less than 14 more, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. You gave me a long happy birthday card.
Yeah, my wife wrote a whole thing.
Yeah,
and then,
for sure.
And then I separately wrote a bunch of weird shit.
Yeah, it was great. I really appreciate it. And so did Paige. We both laughed. Yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you, but I just totally forgot until just now.
No, it's all good. Yeah, we looked at all on the day, and we had looked at all. We got a bag full of presents. We had to go through and write thank you notes.
Mm-hmm.
We have not done a good job. Well, we're in the middle of Paige's finishing law school. It's her last. She's done with law school tonight, basically.
Ooh.
So she's got one more paper she's going to do a little extra work on, but she doesn't have to do it. She's like, if she wanted to be, she could be completely done with law school tonight. So that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Excited. Very excited for it. Well, you want to talk about Star Trek?
Yeah, sure. I guess so.
You said there was news.
There was some news.
You didn't send me anything to look at or watch, so I'm just along for the ride. Yeah. I might have heard a few of the things. I did hear about it, the new movie.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is our headline.
Sure. I mean, sure. And I'm a
don't
little
bury
lackluster
the
on
lead.
Yeah. Well, I am going to bury the lead.
We've buried the lead far enough.
Fine. I mean, you know what? I put that story at the very end. I did.
Bad journalistic instincts.
Probably. But no, you know how you would listen to you listen to radio shows, and they would be like, this horrible thing coming up. But first, and then they drag it out the entire fucking show.
Yeah, I get that. But that's the worst kind of, I hate that shit. And I realize it's a thing that might get people to listen longer. But
yeah,
I've this is my problem with everything I do.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to sit here and say I'm overly moral or anything, but I just don't have the I don't want to make a thing worse to make it more popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just have this thing, and it's tough because there's a hard, it's not a hard line. It's like this weird gradient of like, well, if you title it this, it's not exactly deceptive, but it might be a little bit like people might assume you mean this. And is that wrong? Or is this, it's like, I hate, it's so hard to be, have anything grow in a internet space, because you have so many people that are writing just like ridiculous headlines. And like, I would much rather grow my podcasting life as like, when they click on us, they just know they're going to get something they trust,
Yeah, I also, that's generally why I do tend to just take that decision out of my hands, because like I've tried it both ways where you hold off to the very end and that feels dirty, but then you like put it up front and then you see your retention rate drop immediately and like, oh, it's exactly where.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. That's why they do it. Yeah.
So generally
I don't mind it being, I don't mind it being later or something normally. Like, I don't really... I mean, like, on Multiverse News, we do the big story first. Or, like, the one we think our audience is there for first. But, like, just... I feel like it's just good practice. But, like, I watch all these YouTube shows that'll be like, this big political thing happened. And you click on it, and they're like, but first, let me talk about other contexts for the big thing for 7 minutes. And then you get to the thing, and it's like... someone sent a text that had something sketchy in it. And it's like,
yeah,
why did I waste 7 minutes of my life on this freaking thing?
So generally, I usually will go with whatever's happening soonest.
That makes sense.
Is going to be talked about first. But we can go ahead and get to it. We heard this we've been hearing, and guys, I swear to God, I keep saying this on both of my podcasts. Take rumors with a grain of salt, because we actually got news that Paramount had moved on from the Kelvinverse shit.
Okay.
No more Chris Pine. No more Zach Quinto. So they did that, and then this big rumor broke out that said that they were basically putting a line under, they were just like starting this Simon Kinberg Star Trek Origins trilogy, and it wasn't going to have anything to do with any of the Paramount Plus stuff. They were just going to circumvent all of that and go back to Prime Timeline. And then actual news dropped, this news from Deadline, that Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley are coming in to write, produce, and direct a new original Star Trek film under their Gold Day production banner. And it's a completely new take on the Star Trek universe. It's not connected to any previous or current television series, movie, or prior movie development projects.
Yeah. And the way that comes off, I feel like there are two possible meanings to that. One is it's out of canon, like it's a reboot. And I think a lot of people are running with that as a headline. So when you see Star Trek rebooted on this podcast, just know that we're hypocrites. But I think it's also very likely they'd mean like, it's not a Deep Space Nine movie. It's not a Next Generation movie. It's just something else in the Star Trek universe, which I would welcome. I think that sounds great.
Yeah, I hope that it is... I wouldn't mind a reboot, honestly, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind if it was just like something else in the universe. Like I've said and complained many times, the universe feels too small. They've got to like reference the same 3 or 4 TV shows over and over and over. And it would be great if they did something that just had nothing to do with any of that shit, and it was like still in the Prime Timeline, or if they felt like it.
Yeah. The other thing we know about this is the writers, which like maybe they're big Star Trek fans and they have a vision, so I don't want to cut it out, but I feel like looking at John Francis Daley's IMDb, it's just like a lot of comedy. I feel like apparently he worked on The Flash, so a little bit, and then Dungeons and Dragons. I knew that one, but it's all kind of comedic, which, and I just find those shows to mostly be the movies that I'm seeing from John Francis Daley seem just frivolous in this way that where they don't have a lot of meat on their bones, and it is my worry about Star Trek moving with the new purchase and everything that's what we're going to be getting, Yeah, and
sure.
So that makes me further nervous, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what to feel. I don't know. I really don't. I don't want to pigeonhole and be like, well, you can't write, drama or anything. Sure. But I also know that Paramount is likely going to be looking to hit those 4 quadrants, and they're going to want some comedy in there.
Well, yeah, I don't mind there being comedy. It's just there's ways to do comedy that have like a lot of heart, and there's ways to do comedy that feel just like comedy. And there's nothing wrong with comedy, but it's not Star Trek to me.
I see that, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves did very well critically.
I haven't seen that
well. I haven't either. Didn't do well financially, though.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. Now, I don't know. I haven't really dug in to see if there's a lot of depth to the movie or not, but it seemed kind of like a comedic adventure movie. So, similar to a lot of the other stuff he's been a part of writing.
Aside from seeing the action figures at Ollie's, I have no impression of it at all, really. I know Chris Pine was in it.
They did the Horrible Bosses series.
I did love those movies.
Yeah, I love those movies too. They wrote the screenplay for Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh,
so like there is some depth there. There's some moments of depth in that. So maybe they've got something. Maybe we've got a great team here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be better than nothing, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I say that, but often I see Star Trek and go, I wish they'd just not done it.
Yeah.
That's like Section 31.
I hate that ended up feeling that way.
Yeah.
After being something we've been excited ever since, we saw that Bashir episode on DS9.
Yeah, and that
20
was
years ago.
The last time Section 31 was interesting.
I liked him the rest of DS9. Like all of DS9 was interesting. But yeah, that
kind of, yeah, though. It was a gentle roll downhill from that one episode.
Sure.
Well, maybe a slight incline to the point where they're trapped in Sloane's head and he's dying, and
and loved that.
Bashir's trying to get Chief to confess his undying like for him.
Yep. I love that. Great episode. So I loved, and that's why for years we were like, let's do a Section 31 series.
Yeah.
Anyway, so overall, I guess what's your thoughts on the idea of a new movie unconnected to anything they're currently making?
I don't care at this point. Like, nothing they've said has gotten me excited. I think I would have been more excited to see Chris Pine playing Kirk in his 50s in the Kelvinverse.
Sure.
Honestly. It was funny. I'm just so tired.
Yeah.
When I saw that this was, I saw that the Screen Rant or somebody was like, they've decided to shutter the Kelvinverse. And I commented on Facebook and it just said, whatever.
I remember you posting that.
And it was liked by Adam Nimoy.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to know the story.
Yeah. Like, talk about burying the lead. That's the main story this week. Adam Nimoy liked your tweet.
I know. No, I don't care about that. What I care about is like, why did he like that tweet? Like, why that one?
Yeah.
Like, do he and Leonard just kind of, was Leonard like hopeful for the first one, and then kind of like afterward he was just like,
Yeah. I mean, it's the movie that finally like actually replaced, his father. So I could see like there being, I know he also appeared in the first one, but like I could see
the second one.
Yeah, as a hologram though, right? Or was he?
No. He was just on the view screen talking about like, hey, calm motherfucker, he's dangerous,
Yeah, that's right.
And then he had passed away by the third.
Yeah.
But I like the Kelvinverse movies enough. I would kind of like to see at least one more out of that, but I get it. I get wanting to switch over. I'll never forgive them for passing on Noah Hawley's Star Trek.
I know. Like, I really do feel like it's a similar to how I feel when I think, and I like the Ant-Man movies, but when I think about what would have been if they let Edgar Wright do his thing.
Yeah, but I mean, that was, written before Iron Man, so there was stuff in there that they weren't planning on doing.
Right. So I understand they had to make changes, and he didn't want to make changes, and I understand all of that. But, I just feel like there might have been a middle ground somewhere where they could have come to. But it's just one of those things that I'll always regret, both of those things a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think those two... Yeah, those two would have been great. Now I'm kind of surprised these two guys coming on because their biggest movie, probably, I don't know if it's their biggest, but Dungeons and Dragons was pretty well liked and was big in the culture for a minute. And Chris Pine being in that, I'm almost surprised this isn't the new Kelvinverse movie.
I mean, if I would assume that it's just a situation of Paramount wants to move on from that.
Yeah,
the new haunches.
Yep.
So we can jump back to what I originally considered was the beginning of this episode. I don't have a big finish now, Matt.
No, Fuck. Man. It's all downhill from here, guys. See y'all later.
I dare you. Yeah.
Just before you leave, Joel, I'm true.
Eat a dick. Sorry, I took Effie's line. So, yeah, Jonathan Frakes said that he directed one episode of Starfleet Academy, and that is his last Star Trek that he'll be directing for the foreseeable future. He has no more plans to direct any Star Trek.
Wow. That means Paramount Plus stuff's going away.
It sure does.
Yeah. It means
that is exactly what that means.
The creative team that's been making all this stuff, because they've had him directing all the time, and if he had any inkling that they were going to be making more seasons of Academy, he wouldn't be saying that.
Yeah. I think so. He got to do one episode of Academy, and he wasn't slated for anything on Strange New Worlds as they were wrapping up. Of course, they're both in production at the same time. Frakes said he met but did not direct Paul Giamatti. He did say Giamatti is happier than a pig in shit
to be doing Star Trek.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, they cast Brit Marling as the voice of the USS Athena on Starfleet Academy. And she's been on the OA, I guess is how you said that, with Jason Isaacs, and she was in the thriller A Murder at the End of the World, and wrote and headlined the 2011 sci-fi drama Another Earth. So they got her. This was a weird one, and we don't know what series this is on. This might be for Starfleet Academy or Strange New Worlds, but Deidre Hall, best known as Dr. Marlena Evans on Days of Our Lives, which I used to watch. I remember Marlena getting possessed by the devil and shit. She was floating and making a chandelier fall on some married folk and whatnot. In the show, she's a therapist. And man, she did all sorts of crazy stuff on Days of Our Lives.
That's fun.
Now she's got to be on Star Trek as a freaking therapist.
Oh, I wonder if it's on the holodeck. She's playing the character from the show.
Yeah, I don't know. She was on the TV water cooler. She says, talking about filming in Toronto. I was just there. I was up there doing Star Trek. I love Toronto. She said, ask me what I play on Star Trek. It's not who, it's what. And then revealed she's a psychiatrist. That's so weird and funny. I don't think I've ever heard of... has she been on anything else? I haven't looked her up.
She apparently was on Hacks recently. Only in one episode, but I feel like that show... that show is all about, an older, comedian. So it makes sense that they'd be pulling from other... And the star of it was, on Designing Women and stuff. So,
yeah,
it makes sense that they're pulling from older TV personalities and stuff to be on there.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of fun. Be weird to see her.
Yeah.
So, co-runner of Starfleet Academy, Noga Landau, said this in an interview with Screen Rant. And there's also mysteries. Watch out for Benjamin Sisko. We get to do some really cool stuff that hasn't been done in a long time that I think really honors the fans who've been waiting to see what happens. So we definitely know who we are and the shoulders that we are standing on today.
Interesting.
I don't trust them at all.
Yeah, well, it's weird because we know there's like a Benjamin Sisko placard or like some information thing in the trailer.
Yeah.
But to me, that was the thing that they put in there to like try to hook us DS9ers in.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this person is saying it like again, like reiterating it, doubling down on it means like they think it's a big enough deal that they think it's not so bad to deceive us further, you know?
Right. And I don't trust it. Like, I'm like, are y'all just gonna put a silhouette of that man on that thing and act like we didn't see it in the trailer and say, watch out for Benjamin Sisko, and then be like, that was it. The text said, did he really die in the fire caves?
He said, like, people have been wondering what happened. I wonder if they'll... it'd be amazing if they did something where they actually brought him in. That'd be amazing. Or did something to, like, resolve that story in this show. But I have a feeling, like, when she says they've been wondering what happened, like, I have a feeling they're just going to have, like, some throwaway line, like, did he actually die in the fire caves? And then it, like, just say, no, he came back in the year blah, 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 and then did this. And it's like, no, I don't want to hear about that now. I want to see that movie. And I realize it's very unlikely at this point, but I still want to see it.
Yeah. I mean, look, the best I could hope for at this point, because, you know, all respect to Avery Brooks, he's not much for the doing things these days. Bit of a recluse.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, throw me a line, say something about the ship of Theseus. You know, the USS Theseus or whatever from the comics, where he's like doing like Sisko and a hodgepodge of different crew members from across the different series are running around trying to like stop these god killers in the universe. All right. Give me an excuse to go buy that comic.
Yeah.
I just don't, I'm so afraid that they're going to screw something up or make it worse or just not do anything at all and be like, that was it.
They've left this amazing mystery / like, you know, what's going to happen next story for like 20 years. And so the fact that this person's saying we're going to do something with it is exciting. I can't say that I'm not excited, but I'm also, like you said, I'm not trusting. I'm very reticent to see what they do.
I'm guarding my heart, man.
Yeah. Guard your heart, Dave. That's good.
Over to Strange New Worlds. I mean, we know that we're gonna have season 4 is gonna have the crew turning into puppets at some point. But it sounds like we'll be seeing fewer of these out there concepts.
Okay.
Akiva Goldsman was talking to Screen Rant and said, we're making season 5 now. We're trending towards that, which is probably the center line of Star Trek. We're trending now and beginning with season 4 and through season 5 to a much more singular sci-fi, action-adventure, emotional storytelling. And you know, the outliers are getting less and less as we kind of focus on saying goodbye to each other and the fans. Okay. That sounds great.
Yeah, that does.
Especially the saying goodbye part. What?
Oh, no. I that sounds great. And I'm hoping it's good enough that by the end you won't feel that way.
I hope so. I hope I can just look back and be like, season 3 had a couple of fun ideas, and then I didn't like a lot of it.
That's all Star Trek has, these little troughs in it where things aren't as good as other seasons and stuff. So, you know,
absolutely.
Hopefully that's just all that was last year. It's tougher, especially podcasting. Like, there's something that sort of solidifies it in my mind. Like, I might not even notice a season is bad. I might just kind of almost not notice it. It sort of washes over me. You know what I mean? When I podcast about it, I have to get on here and be like, you know, this episode was good or bad. It sort of just like locks it in my brain and I remember it better than, you know, if I just was watching the show, you know? It would probably just slowly sort of fade into the background if I wasn't liking it, you know? Yeah,
I feel like, you know, I feel like we try to be pretty positive even when we don't like something.
Yeah.
But I feel like the worse it gets in the season, if it continues to be middling or mid, I feel like by the end of the season we're just like, well, this whole season was shit. Because it just like the next bad one or mediocre one like colors the last one a little darker.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Moving over to this thing that I did not like the trailer for. Con is the audio podcast, the audio adventure. Con. It's all out there now. It's all released. I haven't listened to it. Have you at all?
No. What is it on?
I don't know. Podcast apps.
Oh, it's a podcast. Okay.
It's a podcast.
I wasn't sure if it was a podcast or like an audio drama on Audible or something.
Yeah, no, it was released as a podcast.
Cool.
And so it's out there. We can listen to it. I have not felt like listening to it because I thought the trailer sounded like garbage. But bad news. Star Trek novelist and TV writer Kristen Bayer, along with David Mack, who's also a novelist and consultant on Prodigy. They were the ones who scripted the 9-episode podcast series, and they were asked a while back if it was canon, and she said there are conversations I need to have. Well, now she's come back. She said, "Okay, here's what I can tell you. Because I have had a few conversations, there is nobody who comes along and like waves a magic scepter and dubs a thing canon. What I can tell you is that for the people currently working on Star Trek Con will be treated as canon, meaning it will not be overwritten or contradicted. It will be, when possible, incorporated into future storytelling." And they don't have like anything else coming, but they do have some ideas for audio adventures they want to do beyond this.
Okay. I would listen to audio adventures, especially if they were canon. Like I would totally be down for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do from time to time now, like go on Audible when I have too many points and I don't have books I want to read at that moment, and I get like my Audible points get stacked up. Sometimes I'll just go by like a run of Star Trek books and just have them there in case whenever I'm on a road trip or whatnot.
Yeah. She did say it's too soon to have a real sense of what this really did for us numbers wise. She says she'd love to do more. The more I think about it, especially after this one, I am more anxious to actually do a completely original story done this way that could carry forward without necessarily being set. That it's only going to be one season. That's actually what I think would be more exciting for me rather than digging back into the known. There's all the stuff in the Lost Era that she wants to get into as well. So, or she and David Mack. So, yeah, I get it. It's like, it feels like Doctor Who and the Big Finish audiobooks.
Right. I said right. Like, I know they've had audiobooks that have not meant much, really.
Oh, the Doctor Who, everything means something. Like, it's all just like timey-wimey crazy shit. Like,
yeah, it's like, because the timey-wiminess of it, it's like everything means something, I guess, but also nothing means anything.
Right. Well, that's where we are with Star Trek now.
Kinda, yeah.
Because of tomorrow. Yeah, like it was just, and they could do anything outside of canon. It'd be like, well, it's canon now because of Temporal Wars. Well, this is before a certain faction in the Temporal War did a thing, so that's what this means. Like, they could really do whatever they want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just wish they'd make it explicit so we could understand what's going on. I don't like the, as we've had this conversation plenty of times, but I just don't like using the fans to be like, it's still canon. You need to see the thing that you love, and then it's not really.
Yeah, and we have these conversations, and you and I feel this way.
Yeah.
But self-proclaimed, more evolved Star Trek fans love to share that meme of Leonard Nimoy's quote where he's like, Star Trek fans need to forget about canon and be more concerned with where does Star Trek want to take me today. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice, high-minded, pithy thing to say. But for people who are, probably autistic, it breaks my suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
It pulls me out of the world.
Exactly.
When I'm like, well, what does this mean for this?
Yeah, I get that. It does me too, for sure. And it just, I mean, like I said a second ago, but the thing that really bothers me is you're either in the same universe and you're in canon or you're not. I don't mind if they make not canon Star Trek and they do a totally different thing. But the playing on the edge where they're like, it's canon. But then when you watch it, you're like, this isn't canon. There's all these reasons it's not. It just, and as those reasons pile up and pile up and pile up, it's just kind of like, I feel like you tricked me. You know, like you are actively using my fandom against me in a way that I don't appreciate.
And the reason they do this, the reason that like the producers for this new shit on Paramount Plus, not actively saying that all of it's shit or anything, just, the reason they all say that, oh, this is the prime timeline, and they have tried so hard to be like, well, we're pushing up against canon, we're body checking canon. The reason they're doing that is because Star Trek and Paramount, they make the most money off Star Trek from merchandise, right?
Right.
More than subscriptions, anything. Merchandise. And the merchandise that they make money on is primarily TNG and TOS.
Yeah.
Prime timeline, no Kelvinverse, no one gives a shit about that shit merchandise-wise. So they keep saying, like, oh, yeah, that's still canon. Bullshit. It's not. They're trying to, like, have their cake and eat it, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd much rather... and that's what I appreciated about the Kelvin timeline, was that it's canon, but they made it clear how it's canon.
Yeah.
It's different, and they didn't make any bones about it being different. It's just they gave it a reason to be different.
I mean, they've now given a reason several years in to why things are different on the Paramount Plus stuff.
Kinda. It's just sort of this, like, time travel can change things, which we know, and we can all assume all along. It's just kind of, to me, that means you're in the world of Doctor Who now, where nothing matters.
Yeah.
And, like, you're telling me this character exists and all the things that have happened to them before or after have happened to them, but now I have to resolve the fact that isn't true because the butterfly effect, small changes are just going to get more and more bigger changes to a universe.
Which Star Trek does both versions of time travel, where if you go in the past, you create another branch of reality.
Sure.
So you always create an alternate reality. All right, cool. But now you're saying the temporal wars have overwritten reality. So is, like, the original timeline still out there somewhere, like in a different branch, or which one?
Right.
We don't know.
Yeah. Well, and there's no real answers to any of this. It's just the only way to have a truly consistent show where time travel is a thing is to use, like, the 12 Monkeys style, but, like, that's not tenable for ongoing storytelling. So 12 Monkeys the movie, not the series. I haven't seen the series.
As I've said before, though, I would say that the Kelvin timeline was a separate universe already, because when they showed the Kelvin, that shit was way further along technologically than anything I saw in the original series. Like, the architecture of the ship looked like it was like into the movie era already.
Yeah, but that could go with a theory I've heard from you many times, which is, like, styles can fluctuate and go through different phases. So, like,
sure,
it's possible that was a ship from that era.
Sure. All the holograms and stuff on the bridge was a little not.
Well, we've seen, Pike just had to remove all that.
No.
I'm sorry. That's how it works.
No, I don't want it.
Discovery's canon now.
Yeah, the Kelvinverse was until the incursion was the prime timeline post all the temporal wars.
Sure.
Oh, God. It's just so annoying.
Yeah.
Especially since Paramount Plus and the Kurtzman era people, like, they haven't even been consistent with what they've been doing. Like, they have Lower Decks is referencing both the styles from Disco and Strange New Worlds and the original series. And Prodigy has ignored Strange New Worlds and Disco and has only referenced the original series in terms of aesthetic. And it's just odd. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to go in there and clean fucking house, man.
Yeah.
Like, all right, let's get Will Wheaton. We're going to make us a time travel show that fixes all this shit.
I do think just like, I mean, the answer to all this to me is just jump forward. Just jump forward.
That's what they're doing in Starfleet Academy. I just couldn't care less.
Well, that's jumping forward way too far, first off. And it's not, it's jumping off of Disco, which is the thing that jumped backwards. So, like, the way they did it in Next Generation, they needed to update all the, like, whatever's on right now, you need it to look like, in my opinion, like it could happen. And so, if you have the clicks and toggles and stuff, it kind of, you're like, well, why don't they we have iPads in our hands right now. Why don't they have that on the spaceship? So, in New Star Trek, they have iPads and stuff. They had iPads way before the iPad. Like, the pads on T&G looked very much like iPads. And so, you've got all that. So, why I just don't understand why they didn't jump forward a little bit more. Or just continue forward like a legacy show, like Legacy, and just make that next show. It's because they just want to capitalize on the old stuff instead of making something new that people love.
Yeah, and hopefully, if they're talking about the Star Trek movie now, hopefully none of the characters show up. Like, I don't want to see any more Kirk and Spock.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go and do something, just do something original.
Yeah.
Create new things.
Yeah, totally. I fear with a movie they're going to be way too tempted to do characters, like, or but they're saying it's unconnected, so maybe it is.
They're saying it's unconnected. Yeah, I don't know, but at the same time, I'm like really hoping that all over the internet that Star Trek United, Mike Sussman, Scott Bakula show has gotten a lot of great press. Sussman's been talking. Both of them have actually been talking a whole lot in interviews. A lot of fans are very, very excited about the President Archer show. So I would love to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Personally. And I would love to see Star Trek Legacy at some point when Metalis can get it made, get it pitched and get it made.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a no-brainer, both of those.
Yeah, me too. I think those would be, and they're no-brainers. They connect to the things that people would care about. It would be easy to have crossovers and characters visit, just like they did on TNG. But it would be a new era with new characters and a new worlds to explore.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's all I got, man.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Took a few months to get that much.
Get a little bit of news going. Yeah, it's
a
bit of a black box because we don't know what's happening next.
Yeah. We really don't. Now Paramount's like trying their best to buy Warner Brothers, and I really hope that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah. Me too, man. Me too. I really, we've got to do something about our media consolidation in this country, in the world.
Well, I don't know. Maybe everything will be bought up by a couple of things, and then it'll implode.
Well, yeah, I agree that is possible. I mean, we're already there. Like, everything's already bought up. And now it's just like, does it implode and then we lose all the things we love, the ongoing stories? Or is that already happening? You know what I mean? Like, are the stories we love just becoming so run by the numbers people and just becoming He-Man cartoons, where it's like they're just trying to come up with toys? Yeah, it sucks. I don't want the show to be. I don't want any of the shows that I love, any of my favorite fictional universes, as we say over on Multiverse News, to be run by toy companies and investors. Like, I want it to be a creative person who has an idea, who wants to challenge me and create something new. And the thing that sucks is, like, I think that where that's actually happening is in the world of, like, new content. But then you kind of lose
Pluribus.
Well, Pluribus is so good.
So good.
So good. All right. Well, let's spend 15 minutes just talking about Pluribus. We're covering it on Always Watching, by the way. So if you're a Pluribus fan, oh man, I'm loving Pluribus.
It's so good.
I realize it's Latin, and it's from from a famous phrase and everything, but to me, the name itself, when it's just said as one word, sounds like something out of Rick and Morty.
Dude, that was exactly what I said to Bethany.
I pulled my Pluribus.
Yes, absolutely. I may have even said it to Jason on DC on Screen, but that's why I always pronounce it Pluribus.
Pluribus.
Well,
what do you think? What do you think of Pluribus?
I think it is a fantastic show. I'm loving every bit of it. I think it's really cool. Everything they do, like the little. I always love the little touches Vince Gilligan does, like putting the actual Albuquerque mayor, in
so
as the mayor. Yeah.
By the way, I think we shouldn't spoil it probably because people probably haven't seen it. But unless we want to tell everyone, we're going to spoil it. But it's a great show. Go in knowing nothing. It's on Apple TV Plus. It's weird and fun, and it's Vince Gilligan who made Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and he's just firing on all cylinders. But it is like kind of high concept sci-fi. So
which this man did some of the best stuff on X-Files that happened on X-Files.
Right.
So you shouldn't be put off by sci-fi. Like, no, check it out.
Well, we're on Star Trek Universe podcast. I felt like that was a good pitch for this show.
Yeah, dude, people are weird, though. People are like, I like Star Trek, but I don't like sci-fi.
That's weird. That is weird. I've never heard anyone say that.
I've seen a lot of people say that.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm like, I don't want to watch, harsh realm, but I'll watch Star Trek because I grew up with it. It's like franchise love versus genre.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some of that.
Also, it goes the other way because like people like back in the 70s when the first movie came out, Harlan Ellison was like really on the line talking about in interviews on television about how Star Trek isn't real sci-fi. Star Trek is cotton candy. It's brain rot,
Yeah. Which I see what they mean, like that franchise sort of thing, popcorn TV sort of stuff. Well, Pluribus is great. Go watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Pluribus is great. I love it. I think it's so interesting. And I can't wait to... I don't know what to say without spoiling it.
Well, yeah, we can just say, say spoiler alert. I just didn't want you to start spoiling before we let everybody know we were going to spoil.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, everybody. We're going to talk about Pluribus for a minute. What do you think? What do you think?
Right. I think it's incredibly interesting to see this idea play out. Like, I am wondering if he will ever actually say why certain people didn't get it or why certain people died from it.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting because the first thing I thought of when I started watching it was, or in the second episode when it started like, oh, this is what we're doing. The first thing I thought was like, oh, this is like commentary on AI. But then Vince Gilligan came out and was like, nah, man.
He was writing before that, yeah.
Yeah, he had the idea way before. Yeah, and it's clear that he's like throwing some of that in because like it's pertinent now. But you could almost imagine someone like one of those alt-right anti-cancel culture people trying to make a show like this. Of course, they wouldn't be able to as well.
Yeah, they don't have an inner life.
I
think I said that on a podcast on this podcast 2 weeks ago. But no, I joked that they don't have an inner life. But no, I agree. Like when I started watching the show, I was like, thought it was going to be about like kind of a hegemony, and you're the one like person who's different, but and that is in there for sure. But as I watch it, and like a lot of the things they do, they're sort of like, that the hive does that sort of like liberal coded, like all the the veganism and the kindness. That's a joke.
Right.
But no, I think like that's like, I think that he's right. He's making a more complex show than just like,
absolutely.
It's like somehow politically one-sided, I guess. I think he's making it much more complex. So it's more about like what gives a person value, I think, is a big question that it's asking. Because watching this show and a lot of people died. And like, I think my brush with the show is that like something about uniqueness of a human being gives them value. And I think that's even true for like, the hive itself has this sense of like, oh, well, we value because they're willing to put their own people at risk to care for Carol. But it's interesting because they value her uniqueness, but they want to squelch it as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's really fascinating, and like it's just it just is more complicated than any kind of like simple allegory that I think I would think up. And I definitely had those same thoughts that you were on the where like I was like, this is kind of like an anti-woke thing maybe, but I don't think that's true. I think it's just much more complicated and human than that.
I do think that there might be something to, like, you know, the bit from Mark Maron's latest special where he talks about how the liberals, he said we annoyed people into fascism.
Yeah.
There might be something to that, where it's like to that notion where, you know, we did just kind of annoy people into like being against us because we thought it was for their own good.
Yeah. No, I don't deny that there's all kinds of things you can read into it, I think, but I really don't think. I think that my inclination, and I won't speak for you, but I think my inclination to put any kind of like right-left coded thing on the Hive is just my own political broken brain. You know what I mean? Like, I think so far the show's done nothing to really make me think that. It is just a show. To me, it's like a really good Star Trek episode, honestly.
Yeah.
It feels like a great Star Trek episode so far.
I acknowledge that it's my political broken brain to some degree. Because that's what we've been raised in, is just seeing this stuff. But I see as much, you know, when I look at the Hive, I'm seeing the extreme liberalism, but I'm also seeing like extreme, you know, Christian conservatives, trying to push their agenda.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and which is fucking, you know, you want to talk about pushing an agenda down somebody's throat, like the way the Christian conservatives talk about that, you know, liberals and gays, and I'm like, what have y'all been doing all these years?
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
well, that's the thing. The whole idea of wokeness and cancel culture, like, who was like getting mad at people for saying happy holidays? Like, they're their own, like, right wing Christian conservative woke mob. Like, they're just it's just their own thing. It's just people put pressure on other people to be more like them. That's just a thing society does. And I don't think it's always wrong. I think if you're right about the thing you're right about, and you put social pressure on people to not do shitty things, great. Mm-hmm. But when you're doing it based on a Bible that isn't true, like I wouldn't even go that far. When you're doing it based on your weird interpretation of a Bible, that like you're ignoring all the love stuff, and the Bible never mentions abortions, even though they were having them. And so if you've made your entire Christianity about abortion, you're not a Christian. Like, you're just not a Christian. If your political identity is based on abortion and not like feeding the poor, which Jesus said over and over and over again, you're not a Christian. You're a Christian nationalist. And it's just not the same thing.
I think this show is partially, at the very least, about all kinds of groupthink. Just all kinds.
See, I don't even think that yet. I think that's, you know, sure. But the problem is, the idea of groupthink is inherently the idea that, like, there are separate people using social pressure to conform to one idea, right? Mm-hmm. This is something very different, though. It's the hive mind is somehow, because they're not pressuring each other, they have all the information, and so they're making decisions as a collective because they have all the information in front of them, and they're making the best decisions they can for the thriving of all living creatures, which is like great. It's a very like humanist thing in a way that like they're really trying to make a better world and not waste and not kill, not hurt anything they don't have to. But then one of the things that I think is like their desire to please Carol is toxic as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what does that mean? What does it mean that Vince Gilligan, when he thinks about like what is the average sum of all human experience and what is their personality type, that he thinks that the average mixture of all humans would just be like a really big people pleaser.
They're codependent on steroids.
Yeah.
Like it is. Yeah, it's wild.
And it is. And like, they don't want to kill bugs or anything, right?
Yeah.
So I understand not wanting to hurt Carol. Like, that's part of their thing. But like, I don't really understand yet why they have a big desire to please Carol. And I don't know that that's just like comes from when you are a human being and you're faced with a different human being in front of you, you want to be liked. You want to be harmonious with that person. And they're all about harmony. So is their desire to please Carol just an attempt to bring harmony between them? Maybe out of altruism, but maybe out of fear. You know what I mean? There's that great line where she says, yes, you can meet the other 5 people that also are separate, but if you do that, we can't protect you from each other. And like, there's no reason to think they're going to kill her or anybody's going to hurt each other. They just know that people that are different and don't have this technology in their head breeds conflict. And they're just like, ooh, we saw what the old world looked like. I don't know if it's good for you guys that are different and don't have your brains connected to be in the same room.
Well, also, this is humanity connected in a way that they now have. Every single person has firsthand experience of every kind of prejudice, every kind of negative experience that everyone in the world has had. Mm-hmm. I also have wondered though if this was some. I mean, it's Vince, so I think it's going to be about all of these things.
Right, exactly.
I feel like Carol represents the person who is depressed and rejects therapy.
Yeah. Well, there's also a big. I totally think you're right. I think she's a depressed person holding on to her loneliness. You know.
Yeah.
And so, what does that mean her arc would be? You know, if you're writing the show. And you have a character who wants to hold on to her loneliness, wants to keep herself separate from everyone. The arc would be like for her to eventually give in. You know what I mean? That's the arc. But we'll see. I think that one of the interesting things, you meet those other 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
They all had family.
Yeah.
Carol lost Helen, and as far as we can tell, that's the only person she had in her life. She has not seen anyone else. No one else. When they wanted someone to talk to her, they didn't bring her brother or her mom or her any. And now we know from the last episode that her mom sent her to conversion camp and stuff. So like now we know that like that they actually had a rough relationship, but it sounds like she had such a rough relationship with her family. She doesn't have family she cares about. They just had to look for someone who looked like her character from the book. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
All the other 5 people had family next to them, and they felt connected to the hive through the family. And Carol doesn't have that, and neither does this other person that we've just met at the cold open of episode 4.
Yeah, but I'm you know, I am in no way expecting. Once again, it's Vince. I'm in no way expecting anyone to be innocent, and you know, like I feel like the hive is going to do some fucked up shit. Essentially, like it's going to get dicey. I feel like it already has because they did all this without consent.
That's an interesting question. Who did this without consent?
Whoever the first, like, what was it, 1 or 2 people were?
Right. I agree. But to me, it spread and is still spreading. Like they said, it's a virus at one point. It spreads like a virus. And it's like...
it spreads like a virus, but it's not quite a virus.
Yeah. So, it's a technology. So, it seems like and the way they acted immediately when that happened, it was instinct. They were not like... doing it because they were doing it in some nefarious way. It seemed like it was part of the virus, was just like, I got to spread this as much as I can. And so I feel like that's a little different than like doing it without consent. It seemed like they didn't have consent either. Like, they just got this thing and they were kind of forced to act this way. I said this on our Always Watching coverage of it. One thing that I really think is interesting about it is this like idea. I had this idea that like, oh man, this is some sort of alien virus, right? Like an alien virus has been sent to Earth to do this thing to the Earth, right? Because it came from an alien. But then I realized, no, this is somewhere out in the galaxy, there's an alien society that this technology took over, and then they're doing what all of them are doing, which is throwing a life preserver to the Earth, right? She talks about how if you had a life preserver, you wouldn't throw it to someone. And so like this virus that was sent through the stars as communication was like, in my mind, was from a planet that was already consumed by the hive, and they were like, we got to tell everybody, like, we got to spread the word about the hive.
Yeah. I'm so excited. The new episode's coming early this week.
Oh, when is it coming?
Wednesday.
Ooh, I didn't know that. I better talk to the guys and see what they want to talk about. If you ever want to come on there, feel free.
All right.
We're talking, we've been doing it whenever. I think John Irons might come on this week too.
Okay. That's the thing about this show, and that's the thing about Vince Gilligan's shows. Like, I feel pretty comfortable talking about Star Trek, but Star Trek is like basically the level of my intellect I can handle. Like anything smarter, you might as well just leave me off.
Nah, dude, you undercut yourself. I think you have interesting ideas, and like I think you should just let yourself do more than you think. Stretch yourself,
Yeah, no, I get it, but a cat can stretch to open a doorknob, but he still ain't gonna do it if he ain't got thumbs. You know what I mean? For
sure. Well, you know what? There's a. I say that, but I just want, just so you don't feel alone there. Pluribus, I have absolutely felt that way many times when a show is like almost so good and interesting and complex. I'm like, what? I'm always worried that I'm going to get on a podcast and talk about it and be like, this was cool when like I'm that Chris Farley character from SNL where like, it was cool when this happened, and then like I there's that nerve, my nerves come into it sometimes.
Yeah, but I feel like they haven't shown us a lot, but at the same time, I'm also sitting there going like, do you think that they're going, because I haven't listened to your podcast, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a thing.
It's fine.
Do you think that like their willingness to give her an atom bomb or a grenade that's going to be the thing that keeps her as an individual for 4 seasons?
No,
because Vince Gilligan said he sees it going 3 or 4 seasons.
I don't think that. You mean like as a threat?
Like, because they're saying that like once they figure out how to do it,
they'll just do it.
And she deeply does not want that. That will make her unhappy.
So she thinks.
Do you think? Yeah. So she thinks.
They don't believe her though. They believe her when she asks for an atom bomb, if that's what she wants for whatever reason. But the one thing they believe above all is that being part of the hive is the happiest state you can be in. Yeah. So I don't think the atom bomb is going to be how she gets out of it. I think there's going to be something to do with this guy we met in episode 4. They're definitely going to have some sort of connection soon. Like they're going to talk. They seem like the only 2 people that we've met in the world who seem like they don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, so far.
I mean, the other 5 that we met, some of them seemed like they were gung-ho to be a part of it, and others seemed like, like the one guy was just really enjoying this sort of like god status that had given him, flying around on the Air Force One with all these beautiful women. So funny. And it's so interesting because that's the thing. It's like you talk about like this idea of consent, and like I find it really creepy that this guy's using his position to get all these women to just do what he says, because they'll do whatever he says, so he just tells them clearly to do sex on him. But as Zosha says, like, there's not really affection that we reject. Like, we always want affection. And it's like, they are such a different creature than normal human that is he being creepy? It feels creepy to me, but it's a totally different world, and these are a totally different class of people. And it's just really interesting. And like, they don't identify with their bodies in the way that we do. Like, our bodies are who we are. Their bodies are not who they are. When they talk about themselves as one single human, they don't talk about themselves in the first person. They say this individual. And so they just don't have a sense of self. And so the idea of like consent and like someone crossing lines with them doesn't feel like it's a violation of anything, because they don't have a sense of self. You know, it's very dicey. It's dicey to talk about. Like, I'm sitting here trying to talk about it. It's like hard to find the words to talk about this without sounding.
They talk about every individual in the past tense.
Yes, which makes me feel like all the individuals are dead. But they aren't. They're all part of this thing, and like, it's a challenging show. So far, it's a very challenging show, and I am pumped because I trust Vince Gilligan that he is going to do something interesting with it.
Oh, definitely.
That he has a plan or an idea for where he wants this show to be and go.
I didn't know what it was, and then I found out Vince and Rhea, and I was like, oh shit, that's absolutely a thing that's happening immediately.
Yeah, it's great.
Toot sweet.
Yeah, Apple TV is just hit all cylinders, man. So good. I'm still
giving him the side eye for canceling Big Door Prize.
I never saw that.
That's so fucking good. So good.
I may have to go watch it.
And they ended on such a big cliffhanger too.
Sucks.
Chris O'Dowd.
I know we've talked about it, but are you watching Severance? Okay.
Absolutely.
I just couldn't remember. Yeah. Like, I feel like I knew we talked about it when it was on, but it's been so many months, I don't remember. Severance is. I love Severance so much. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be back to talk more Star Trek next week, and probably more Pluribus, if we're being honest.
Will we be back to talk about more Star Trek next week?
Oh no, probably not. But you might be on.
I'm like, what?
You might be.
Do you know something?
Soon though. It is soon, January 15th. I guess that's not that soon. I keep thinking we're a few weeks away from Starfleet Academy, but like it's like 2 months is more like it.
Yeah. Effie and I have more. We have watched the final 3 episodes of season 2 of the original series, and I've done the show art for all that, but we haven't recorded yet. And Effie, I've just gotten word, is sick, so I don't know how that's gonna play into what we were planning as a recording session this week. But we'll get that going soon.
Yeah, that's great, man. You're getting through that. Gonna be done with the original series before long. That's fun.
I've been on a spiral because I love Assignment Earth, one with Gary Seven, and it was a backdoor pilot.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just like, I don't know, looking around for like extracurricular stuff, and I found a comic book series by John Byrne.
Nice.
There's like, every issue takes place a year later. So it's like, Roberta Lincoln and Gary Seven are running around with ISIS and going on adventures, and I'm going on my little spiral, but
that's fun. I had a big divert into something this week. I found I knew it was coming, but I missed it. Magic the Gathering, I like that game. but I don't really play it because it's just too hard to follow. Like I can't keep up. To be good at Magic the Gathering, you have to play it like every week or multiple times a week to like know all the cards and stuff. And but it turns out they have a Spider-Man set. And so I bought a booster box of the Spider-Man set, and I invited friends over, and we sat and played like some, and I'm just trying to collect them, like Marvel Fleer 94 style. I'm trying to collect all of the Marvel in Magic the Gathering. They did this. It's a Spider-Man set, and then later next year they're doing a Marvel superhero set. And I'm going to just try to do both of those because it's fun. I do really enjoy. I enjoy Magic the Gathering, but I also just it being Marvel characters is super fun.
By the way, I am impressed. All the shit that you seemingly willfully forget, you remembered Fleer 94.
That's because every once in a while I look it up on eBay. You know what I found out?
Yeah.
Every once in a while I look that up on eBay because it's like a thing I did as a child, was collecting these Marvel Fleer 94 cards. And I loved it.
Yeah.
And at some point I lost them all, I think in a move or something. I lost all my cards.
I think you and I, because like the Fleer cards that were in the Toy Biz action figure packages were Fleer 94. You and I, as I recall,
do we do Fleer 93?
We were doing 95.
Oh, maybe.
And then they moved on to 96, where they were doing like these really like holographic foil cards and shit. And that got difficult.
Oh, you're totally right. It was 95. It was 95. I just looked up packs, and I just like had it in my head as 94. But no,
I have a ton of 94 too because of those Toy Biz packages.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember when 96 came out, and I wanted to continue doing it, and for some reason I just didn't. I think it may have been more expensive or something, or just I was a poor kid and couldn't afford it. But
they did go up because they were doing a lot of special foil shit, like on the special powers, like Bishop shooting his like whatever his kinetic blast or whatever the hell it was. They like went crazy with it and made it like super nice and like did some like kind of foil shit on it. Like, yeah. And they were moving away from what I could tell, they were moving away from like the Joe Jusko type fantasy paintings, and I felt like the artwork was inferior for 96, so I fell off of those.
I remember feeling that way too. I remember feeling like I just didn't like the art as much. But yeah, no, looking back at these packs, man, crazy. I loved it though. I loved that game, or not game. I love that set. And so I talked about it on the MCU cast, and then so I decided, instead of getting back into Magic the Gathering, which would be tempting, because I don't need to spend that much time on it, I'm just going to do the Marvel sets when they come out, and they're doing a Star Trek set next year.
Ooh.
So I'm going to do the Marvel sets and then the Star Trek set, and when I do it, I'm going to try to play a little bit with my friends and maybe go to a pre-release at a card shop or something, and then I'm going to just try to collect the set, kind of like get that old feeling of the Fleer 95, like collect the whole set, you know?
Yeah, man. I kind of want to, like, I'm seeing some of these like single cards, you choose, and I'm like, ooh, I know I need a few. Oh, like $1.50, huh? I've got mine in a binder downstairs.
Wow. I just found a booster box, like a full box of unopened booster packs on eBay. $515. It's crazy. Oof. Crazy.
Oof.
But if I had all the money in the world, I'd probably do it, because I would enjoy opening them and trying to rebuild my set again, you know?
Yeah, man. Dude, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind filling in my collection for 94, 95. I don't need all the 96, but 94, 95.
I didn't even tell you the part of the thing that was crazy. So I do that. I check eBay every once in a while. I'm like, sometimes you can find like a full set for so much money, like somebody who's collected them already. I thought about doing something like that because I collected them as a kid, and I'm like, I already did the collecting. I can just buy a full set now. But I was telling Kelly Mankachi about that, and it turned out she was like, "Oh, I have that whole set." And I was like, what? Turns out when she was that same age, like before we had ever met her.
Yeah.
Like I met her in like 11th grade. So when she was like in 7th or 8th grade, she was also collecting those Marvel Fleer cards.
Oh.
And apparently has the whole set in a binder at home.
That's
and I was
crazy.
Like, what? That's crazy. It's just, and she's like, I'm sorry. She said she has the whole set except for 2 or 3 cards. And she said she also still checks eBay to this day. Me and her have been friends for like 25 years. We have never talked about this.
That's
and
so
I was
weird.
like, how are we both checking eBay for the same obscure Marvel set of cards for 25 years? And like, you know, you have them all, and I didn't even know this. How did we not ever talk about this?
Yeah, that's funny.
That's crazy.
That's funny. I feel like, aside from Star Trek, those 95 Fleer Ultra X-Men cards were like a pretty serious foundation for our friendship.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we had already been friends. Those were like 6th grade or something.
I mean, something like that.
It was grade? The year I moved away from Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in Prattville, so it was the thing that we still like talked about and collected. And when we hung out at church, or probably even after we stopped going to that church, like it was the thing that we kept doing, you know?
Yeah.
But we were already friends for like 4 or 5 years at that point.
I mean, and that we were still watching Star Trek at this point as well.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
DS9 went until, what was it, 98? We had already lost Voyager to UPN.
I thought it was like 2001.
No, Voyager ended in 2001.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I just remember, I remember missing episodes of the, like, I think I remember being in high school, late high school. I thought it was my senior year. It might have been my junior year. I remember missing episodes of Deep Space Nine. And maybe I got some you to tape them for me, or I tried to tape them. I don't know. As
I recall, you did have some like school functions, like prom or some shit, and I would tape them and make sure you got them at church or something. Or I guess it was at that point. I don't know. I can't remember when exactly you moved away, but I
moved away in 6th grade.
I do remember us on the phone almost every Saturday, and including the final season of DS9. And we watched I know we watched the finale together on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It was 99. It ended in 99. I remember being at like high school functions and missing a couple of episodes because of my high school functions.
But we had already lost Voyager to UPN, which wasn't playing anywhere.
Right. And we lost it in like into season 3, I think.
Yeah. Well, after Scorpion, the week after Scorpion Part 1 aired,
Part 1,
we lost.
But that was season 3, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it was the end of a season. I remember because we waited a whole summer or whatever, and the next season came back, and it didn't come back for us. Well, we didn't have that channel.
We were also very worried because the next week we were on the phone, and we, watched our DS9 rerun, and then another DS9 episode came on, and we were like, "Why is DS9 coming on? Where's Voyager?" And it's because it was like the next week they cut off Voyager because UPN was going to start playing it.
Yeah.
And we hoped all summer that we could get UPN, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, it just never came to our area. That was weird.
It did, but it came to like across town. Like I started getting my aunt to tape them for me.
Oh.
But like I couldn't get them. Like she would like just tape them haphazardly and then like not know where all the tapes were. And she'd bring me tapes, and I'm like, I'd go home and I'd be like, this doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if we have any young listeners. Probably not.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine like a Gen Alpha person listening to this podcast.
Right.
But I find it. If you are a Gen Alpha person listening to this podcast, please let us know, because I think you're a fascinating human. But I find it like so weird to think about how hard it was to watch a thing we liked.
Yeah.
How freaking hard. And I mean, these days it can get hard because it's like on the wrong streaming service and you got to pay extra money or whatever. But it's all available to everything is available to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, but
so we're gonna get off a while ago. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
I will tell you this. In college, I was taping Enterprise for you.
Yeah.
I was making you tapes with covers that were just full of Enterprise episodes.
I think you only did that a few times.
It was like 3 or 4 of them.
Because I never actually watched it until a DVD set was out. I watched the first few because I think you taped for me like maybe the first half of the first season or something like that. And I remember watching them and I really appreciated them. But then like I fell off.
Yeah.
Or you weren't taping them for me or whatever anymore. And like I remember actually finally watching the show. I think I watched it in one go, like season 1 through 3 in like one. Like on DVD.
Yeah.
Like I think once they were already out on DVD.
Yeah, you told me I remember it was in the BCM in one of the back rooms, and you were like, I handed you a new tape and you were like, man, I really appreciate it, but I'm so far behind. Just don't worry about it anymore.
Oh yeah. I'm sure my guilt got the better of me. I'm like, don't you're being so nice and making me these special tapes and I'm like not having time to watch them.
I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was stuff I enjoyed doing.
Yeah, which is stuff you still do today.
It's stuff I still do today for myself, like making DVD covers, my own DVD covers, and
that's really fun.
And making little compilations of stuff that you can't find on Blu-ray or DVD.
Yeah.
You track them down on YouTube or something. So I enjoy doing that kind of stuff anyway. So
yeah. Well, thank you for that back in the day.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I'm going to get off of here. It's great chatting with you, Dave.
Yeah, likewise, buddy.
We will be back, but probably not next week. Probably in a few weeks when there's some news and probably some updated trailer for Academy or something.
Right.
And we'll be back, guys. Joel on True.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you for listening to the Star Trek Universe Podcast, a Stranded Panda production. If you'd like to hear more from David C. Robertson, check out the DC On Screen podcast or maladjusted.tv for his web videos. If you'd like to hear more from Matthew Carroll, check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast or listen to his music. Just search for Matthew Carroll anywhere you get music.